Well, weather's a changing across Texas as a cool front brings a return of the not so summer like Texas weather that we've had to deal with the last few days, and we're dealing with storms this morning. But guess what? There's a whole lot more rain to talk about over the next few days with a chance for some flooding. And we're going to talk about that in this Hump Day edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. And good morning. It is Wednesday, the 5th of April, 2023. I'm David Reimer with the Texas Storm Chasers, and we are going to be talking about the continuation of rain chances as we head into, well, today, tonight, tomorrow, and Friday. Before we get started, let me go ahead and thank all you all who have joined us this morning. The new Texas Storm Chasers app is out, version 2. It works on Android, iPhone, and iPad. It's free. Just head on over to your app store and download it. If you're on an Android device and already had our first app, you need to get rid of that app first, uninstall it, then head over to Google Play and download our new one. We think y'all are going to like it, and we definitely put a lot of time into it, so please let us know what you think about it. And with that out of the way, let's head on over, take a look at the current regional radar this morning. We had a line of showers and storms finally get going on the cool front's leading edge and just behind the cool front over the last couple of hours. You can see some of those storms becoming a bit rowdy this morning in the hill country, just northwest San Antonio, all the way up into southern North Texas and northeast Texas. The DFW Metroplex storms are now east and south. No more storms in the Metroplex today, at least rowdy ones. Yellow box you see pop up is a tornado watch for northeast Texas through noon. Now, most of the storms we're going to be dealing with this morning are going to behave themselves as they have done so thus far, but some of these storms could get a little rowdy in the hail department. We may see some dime to quarter size hail. Can't rule out 40, 50, 60 mile an hour wind gusts. So far, most of these storms have been fired up right behind the cool front, which means they have been what we call elevated above the cap, meaning not dealing with any spinny doom, aka tornadoes. But if any of these storms do manage to fire up just ahead of the cold front, or we see an isolated storm or two fire up in East Texas or Northeast Texas this morning, way out ahead of this line, you know the deal. We got to watch those for spinny doom mischief. So again, can't totally rule out a tornado this morning, but so far we have been behaving in the storm department, and here's hoping we can continue to keep it that way. Nevertheless, these storms are producing heavy rain, quite a bit of cloud to ground lightning, and some small hail. Let's pop on over to the North American model, and this is what we're expecting for things to look like over the next couple of days. A line of storms will continue progressing slowly off to the east-southeast this morning, but it will be far from our last chance of rain. As you can see, as we head into Wednesday night, Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, we're going to have plenty more showers and storms. And again, most of these are not going to be severe tomorrow. This is going to be a widespread heavy rain event versus a, hey, I'm going to drop baseball-sized hail on your roof sort of day. As you can see, again, here we go through this afternoon. Now we're going to head into tonight. More storms tonight, more storms tomorrow. And again, best chances of rain, southeastern third of Texas. Some of these rains are going to be heavy. Could see 1, 2, 3 inches of rain an hour in some spots. And then the threat for some flooding issues where we see multiple rounds of heavy rain over the next couple of days. You can see Friday's looking pretty wet across the southeastern third, maybe even southeastern half of Texas. So again, main severe weather issue will be this morning to early this afternoon with the crash to the cool front, which will not only bring rain chances, but a pretty decent drop in temperatures. In terms of forecast rain totals over the next few days, we're expecting a boatload. Most of this is going to fall today through Friday afternoon. So the weekend's looking pretty dry, but at this point, widespread 3 to 6 inch rain totals possible across the middle Texas coast up through the coastal plains of Victoria Crossroads, the Brazos Valley, southeast Texas, the Piney Woods of East Texas. 3 to 6 inches of rain. Isolated totals up to 8 inches over the next 3 days. You can see lighter rain totals comparatively. About 1 to 3, maybe 4 inches of rain. Rio Grande Valley, Rio Grande Plains, South Texas, South Central Texas, Eastern Hill Country, Central Texas, up into southern North Texas and East Texas, and then by the time you get up towards the DFW Metroplex, Texarkana, back west of Brownwood, down the Edwards Plateau, we're generally talking about 1/2 inch to 2 inches of rain in spots mainly this morning through, again, Friday afternoon. Not going to be raining the whole time over the next several days, but again, definitely one of our more beneficial rain events we've seen so far this year. And you know what? If we can get some of these lakes filled up even better than they already are now, in some spots at least, we definitely need it. Unfortunately, where we need the rain the most across the western half of Texas, we're not looking at too much over the next several days. You can see we're generally looking at 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain if we're lucky. In places like Big Bend National Park down to Alpine, Fort Stockton, there in the Davis Mountains, and then farther west towards El Paso, it looks like we're going to stay under 1/10 of an inch of rain. Now, in terms of flash flooding, we haven't shown these in a while, but yes, we do have a threat of flash flooding over the next few days. This is for today, tonight, into early Thursday morning. The highest relative threat for flooding, that's a level 2 out of 4 risk. Meaning isolated pockets of flash flooding possible, street flooding, rises on creeks and streams, low water crossings being flooded, etc. Victoria Crossroads up through the Brazos Valley, southeast Texas, including the Houston Metro, into East Texas, the Piney Woods of East Texas. So we head into Thursday, that risk expands into the Middle Texas coast, South Texas, up through South Central Texas, including the urban corridor from San Antonio up through Austin to Temple, Belton, all of the Brazos Valley into East Texas, Southeast Texas, the Piney Woods of East Texas, and the Golden Triangle. Again, pockets of flash flooding possible, street flooding, low water crossings being blocked, rises on creeks and streams. And then as we head into Friday, that risk begins to diminish somewhat in coverage as we start to see rain chances be confined to portions of the Golden Triangle, the Piney Woods of East Texas, Southeast Texas, the eastern Brazos Valley, with still a very low threat for isolated instances of flash flooding or residual flooding from heavier rains over the next couple of days down to the Victoria Crossroads, portions of the eastern hill country, down to the middle Texas coast and the coastal bend. So again, it's going to rain. Now, in terms of fire weather, I know it's rather obnoxious to talk about fire weather, but we're going to be dealing with it over the next couple of days across western portions of Texas down to the Edwards Plateau, where we're not really going to see all that much or any rain. So today, threat for wildfires will be high to very high across the Concho Valley, the Big Country, Permian Basin, down to the Davis Mountains, Trans-Pecos area, down the Edwards Plateau, the southern Concho Valley, and then down into the Rio Grande Plains, and relatively same area as tomorrow, a little more confined to far west Texas, the borderland out near El Paso, through the Guadalupe Mountains, the Davis Mountains, the Trans-Pecos, there on I-10, through Van Horn, east, up into the Permian Basin, the Concho Valley, and the Edwards Plateau. And then we're going to kind of start to settle down a wee bit as we head into Friday across the state as we see a little bit more cloud cover, or at least some comparatively higher humidity values. Now, in terms of temperatures over the next couple of days, well, high temperatures are going to be coming on down. We're done with the 80s and 90s for a while, at least outside the Rio Grande Valley for today, as cooler temperatures filter in from the north and we see cloud cover. Real big difference is going to be tomorrow. You can see where we have the highest chance for some rain and storms, and those clouds holding tough. Temperatures may not get out of the 50s. Places like San Antonio, Austin, up into southeastern North Texas, Corsicana, Fairfield, over to Tyler, Mount Pleasant, Mount Vernon, Texarkana, and Paris. Highs in the upper 50s. You can see still holding tough right around 70 to 73 degrees along the coastlines where we are going to have higher dew point values. But hey, you know what? Pretty good rain chances. Here is Friday, and holy moly guacamole, look at that. Highs in the middle 50s across the Permian Basin, the Concho Valley, the Hill Country, over into East Texas. It is going to be cloudy. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be cool. It's definitely not your typical early April, but hey, you know what? Considering we were in the 90s to almost 100 degrees yesterday, it's going to feel pretty darn nice, at least for those of us not quite ready to put away our cardigans and sweaters just yet. And then here's Saturday. Rain clears out, very low chance for an isolated shower or storm, but for the most part, we're going to be done with the rains as we head into the weekend. Here is Saturday, temperatures starting to rebound up as skies clear out, and we see those southerly winds return. Highs statewide in the 70s to maybe 80 degrees. Pretty darn nice Saturday, and here is Easter Sunday. Guess what? We're back into the heat across the western half of Texas. Temperatures jumping back up into the 80s. Could see an uptick in wildfire danger. 70s eastern eastern half of Texas with increasing humidity. So overall, let's head back over. We'll take a look at the radar right now. And again, this is what it looks like right now this morning, just before 7 a.m. A line of showers and thunderstorms along the leading edge of a cool front. Tornado watch in northeast Texas through noon, but so far storms are behaving themselves in the state of Texas. Not so much across portions of Missouri, Arkansas, about to be in western Kentucky, Indiana. We've got a line of severe storms approaching Chicagoland up in the upper Midwest. That's undoubtedly creating a rather unpleasant experience for the air hubs. And then again, chance for severe weather this afternoon across portions of Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, and Kentucky. Damaging winds, some hail, and the threat of tornadoes. But again, for us in Texas, so far so good, as these storms are mostly firing up behind the cool front's leading edge, which means they're elevated above the cap, meaning we're not dealing with a tornado threat thus far, just some instances of pocket change size hail, localized gusty winds, heavy rainfall, and quite a bit of cloud to ground lightning. But again, can't totally rule out some severe weather this morning, and we're going to be keeping an eye out in portions of northeast Texas, the Brazos Valley, and east Texas for sure. But with all that being said, thank you for joining us this morning. We do have the new free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app available out on iPhone, iPad, Android devices. Head on over, check it out, download it, let us know what you think. We're happy about it. We've actually got two radars in it. We've got the main radar. When you open up the app, you got the main radar there. You can click on the button, but if you click on the more button, or the bottom right button there in the app, we've got our old radar too. If you like that one better, take your pick. They're both okay. We like them all. Yippee-ki-yay. All right, y'all have a great Wednesday. We're going to be here keeping an eye on the storms. And again, free mobile app, and you can also do so on our website, texasstormchasers.com/radar. Keep an eye on the sky with us. We'll be back if any sort of severe weather mischief arises, but here's hoping we can just get some good rain out of this and a couple days of cooler temperatures. Have a good day. God bless.